Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Hey, knock, knock, knock. All right, let's see what we have going on here tonight. I hope you all are doing well. It is just about Taurus season. I think maybe in a day or two it's going to transition into it. So, happy birthday to Taurus. It's exciting. All right. We have a lot going on here tonight. Okay, so we have, first of all, before we start with anything in the cup, okay, the cup is interesting. I'm excited about this kind of little story that looks like it's playing out there. But I want to look at this card, okay, and this is the Ace of Cups. This is from the Thoth deck. And as we can see, this is that beautiful place of creativity, creative essence, emotional beginnings. There's a lot of stability, consistency, a flow of emotions. And you kind of get the image of a cup being cleaned out so that you may fill it once more, and the drink is nice and crisp and pure and doesn't have like the taste of old things. So in a way it's kind of a new beginning or a beginning altogether, but it's also kind of that holy grail, that thing that we all kind of seek, that illuminating divine vessel that we kind of quest for in the lower spheres of our spiritual journeys. Okay, so I think this is a wonderful place. It makes sense to me that this is where we're at. Okay, I know last week our reading was very much about this spiritual journey and kind of old things coming into our life in a new way, and so let's talk about what's going on now. Okay, so we have this boat, ship, barge type of thing. It reminds me of kind of like a little Greek ship, or maybe like a Roman or like a Viking kind of ship. It definitely looks like something that you would see in the Mediterranean with these high edges there. It almost kind of reminds me of, because there's the person standing here, they almost look like they have what is it called? A lyre. It reminds me of Orpheus, right? And if you aren't familiar with Orpheus, this is a god of music, okay? And tragically, his wife was taken, how do you say it? Eurydice, I think. I might have really messed up the pronunciation of her name. You know, the funny thing is that I am you know, self-read. So a lot of words I've never heard. I did not go to college or study these things in an academic setting. So kind of self-taught. And so, yes, I will definitely mispronounce things. I'm constantly asking my husband, does that sound, am I saying that right? Yeah. So anyways, so his wife goes down to the underworld. She's taken, kidnapped, right? And he goes after her, and I'm kind of mixing I'm thinking of, the story of Anana and Ereshkigal, kind of, but, he goes down there and he's going to save her. He's going to take her, but she won't leave. And I think, or maybe she does leave. I don't know. But the point is, he's leaving the underworld. He's not supposed to look back at her. And he does. And so she perishes. Is this right? Is this the right story? Now I'm thinking of the salted pillars in the Bible. Oh. All right, so anyways, his wife dies in the underworld. So he goes back up, and he ends up perishing himself, right? And it's sad. It's a sad story. But, you know, less than maybe even the allegories of his mythology, the Orphic traditions are very important, the Orphic mystery schools. And these are very tied into like Neoplatonic ideas and the importance of mathematical, you know, a mathematical universe and different frequencies and the keys of notes put together and these kinds of things. So anyways, ultimately, this looks like a beautiful symbol of a journey. Hopefully not a sad one, though I don't think he takes a boat to the underworld, so possibly not really tied to that. But the music is there, right? Maybe there's a great enjoyment of music. I do think that you have been feeling very confident in your spiritual movements, and I really think that you're living in this very intentional space right now. You are really creating, you feel aligned with spirit. You're having very deeply emotional experiences that are like nourishing. They feel like they are kind of filling your tank with energy. I feel like your soul feels like it's being cared for. I feel like you are waking up in the morning feeling like you're happy to rise and meet the day. And I see just this, you know, this beautiful boat. Let's forget about my kind of tripping through the story of Orpheus. I am a fan of, now I just have to really familiarize myself. I thought I knew, I felt confident going into that. I'm like, wait a second. I think I'm kind of like coming up with this composite story here. But I feel like in some way you're kind of on your own hero's quest, okay? To meet yourself, to maybe go through some ordeals coming up, for sure. We all have our ordeals. Hopefully, though, during this period of time, you are really fortifying yourself. And I really think that is the case. I also see over here this thing that looks like a kind of a baboon, and that is very much related to Thoth. And he is pictured usually as like an ibis bird or a baboon, And this is the god of magic, god of mathematics, and I don't know, geometry, I think. You know, one of the more popular gods, also a psychopomp. And I would just say usually kind of looped into all of the higher arts, right? And I see kind of this image, and you know, I feel really silly even speaking on these things, because I don't know, I can't remember what the difference is between the ibis bird, the actual ibis bird, the humanoid ibis bird, where it's kind of wearing the mask of the ibis bird, or the baboon. I don't know that I've ever known exactly what the difference is, but I know that he appears differently. Anyways, I think that this is very much about initiation, being kind of, having a patron, ushering you into these different kind of initiatory processes. Definitely the Hierophant, and combined with the Magician, I think that you definitely are coming into a power, a realization that you very much are the architect of your reality. And I do believe that we talked about that last time. So I think that there is this confidence that is building in you. You are seeing in your life your ability to kind of reframe your perception, and that is very empowering. Okay, I also think that this time more than any time, you have maintained control over your emotions and your reactions. Another feeling of having a lot of power within your own life. And that is so important, okay? A lot of us spend most of our lives trying to figure out how to even begin to do those things. Now, I do remember last week we talked about somebody coming back into your life from a previous time. It could have been an old lover, somebody you dated. I remember there was a sense of it being kind of interesting to you, you know, somewhat receptive, but you also have your own things happening. You really have your life kind of going in the direction that you want to, and it's going to take a lot for you to kind of get outside of this, you know, this castle that you've built yourself, this little kingdom you've built yourself. I do see kind of this image, it looks kind of like a parade of merriment to some degree. We look like, you know, they're wearing little masks and kind of in this line. What is that called? Like a parade, yeah. And so I get this idea of you almost being in like, you know, like a street fair or some kind of like music event or something where you are out having fun. And I think that there's just really, you know, something is building in your life that is going to give you reason to celebrate. Okay. And maybe you already know what that is. Maybe there's some kind of graduation or, you know, promotion, or I don't know, somebody's anniversary is coming up, or a wedding, whatever it is. I feel that there's a lot of merriment, a lot of joy, just kind of, you know, letting yourself kind of be released of the constraints of your mundane life for even just the night. Now I do see that we have a little heart over here, and I see this little goat, okay? And seeing those kind of parallel to each other there a little bit, on the same plane at least, it makes me think that it's kind of the same positioning as last week, where you're like, okay, I'm a little intrigued. Maybe you're texting or, hanging out a little bit, or you have like made plans to hang out in the future. But I don't think that you are overly concerned with making anything happen. I'm not super convinced that this is going to be your person, right? But I do think that the universe is kind of smiling at you, on you, and pushing you kind of in this really emotional direction. And I think it's kind of a fulfilling emotion, or a place of fulfilled emotions, okay? A place of really kind of whole and holistic. I think just enjoyment for the sake of enjoyment. Being able to kind of smoothly transition from one situation to the next. I feel like you're just in this like really good flow. If you are a creative person, I think it's, an ultimate time to be painting, writing, making, for some reason I just thought making little zines, right? Little handmade magazines. Just doing something that you enjoy, something that really will take you to even further into this kind of just being transported kind of state. And I don't, other than that, I don't know really what to say about it, except for it's like smooth sailing. Like your sail is full of wind. You are just really, in that sweet spot right now. And, I think that really just maintaining whatever you're doing to keep this going. Excuse me. I think that, it's really, I'm trying to think, because sometimes in readings, I will see a lot of clutter. This isn't necessarily clutter. This is kind of just grouped together. It seems like there's a flow to it, but sometimes it's almost kind of like this manic state, like hypomania. I don't feel that here. I feel that there's just kind of a real, it feels like a rich experience, okay? Like a very involved and lovely experience. And, I don't see any end to it coming. I think that really there's just, there's so many, like, I'm trying to think of the words. It's not necessarily that it's not like there's so many directions you could go in, because you could, definitely. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of applications of this energy that you have. But I don't think it necessarily matters that you put it into anything. I think that really trying to harvest it and apply it to one thing is kind of like the thing that is going to make you lose track of it, right? So I think just kind of trying to let yourself enjoy it, experience it, be present. that's really the most important thing here. Okay, of course, I know you have to work, you have to provide for yourself, you have to do all of the things, the responsibilities, and that makes sense for sure. We have to always try to find that balance so we don't get too lost in that splendor, right? You know, although that feels nice, unless you have somebody who is, you know, your patron, paying for your life or supporting you. You know, it's just not practical. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just a little bit jealous. I wish I could get into this place with myself. You know, but it will come. It will come. You just got to let me know, what have you been doing to get yourself into this lovely state of mind? Okay, so we have an F. Is there a person with an F name? There's cat hairs all over. My goodness. The last reading I had too, there's a cat hair right in the middle. So somebody with an F name. It looks like this is really symmetrical. It feels like this is kind of an energy that is building. We have this kind of pyramid down here. It looks like just a really strong foundational energy. We have this F person kind of in the middle. Is this the person that you're kind of talking to maybe, or, you know, having a friendship with? It seems, you know, not at the top of your priorities, but it seems important nonetheless. And then I feel that we have this kind of illuminating star, and I really get this like strong kind of Venus energy, although I know that's not a star, right? But we think of it as like the morning star, or the evening star. My goodness, you guys. Anyways, yeah, so I think that there's definitely this kind of very feminine, luxurious, beautiful kind of energy flowing through all of every ounce of your being, right? It doesn't, you know, the obvious, it goes without saying, it does not matter what you identify as, but these are archetypal energies, right? And they touch us all. So I think this is very much about, you know, the love stuff with other people, romantic love, family love, attraction, physical lust, and these kinds of things, all very important. But I think in this, there is really a very authentic and genuine love of self happening, prioritizing self. Okay, and I think that that green light of the Venus energy is very much illuminating your life. And yeah, I think that, you know, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. I'm gonna go read about some of these myths that I kind of I don't even know. Which is funny because in the beginning of kind of my studies of the occult and esoteria and things, I was very fixated on Orpheus and Idris and now it's like, I don't know, you just read so many things, right? And you like kind of just internalize these different stories, and they all kind of merge together, which is terrible when you when you need to recall it. But that's the story of my life. Everything kind of melds together, and then it's like, disclaimer, go and fact check, read your own account of the mythology. All right, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am so honored to bring these messages to you. And oh my gosh, it is Taurus season. I think, I don't even know what the day is today. I think 19th, 20th, 21st, somewhere in there. And it's almost my bedtime, so yes. We are in the empty moon, the new moon, with this beautiful Ace of Cups, and that is also, it aligns so much. Also, you know what? I know that people make lunar waters when there's a full moon, but I also I'm very moved by the new moon, sometimes even more so than any other celestial occurrence. And so I think it's important to make those lunar waters during the empty moon as well. So I don't know, if you hear this tomorrow morning or whatever, while the moon is still new, then you should definitely put some water in a bowl or a cup in your windowsill and make yourself some anointing water. Yeah, so thank you. And I'm gonna skip my little spiel I usually do because I'm starting to feel like I just don't know what I'm talking about at this point in the reading. So I'm sure I'll mix that all up. But yes, I appreciate you all, and we will talk again in 7 days. In the meantime, you can watch your other placements, and yeah, leave a comment if you want to. Thank you.